Hi, my name is Melissa van Dijk and I'm a makeup artist, and in this video I'm going to show you 4 beautiful eye makeup looks which I'm going to create with the Hey L.A eyeshadow palette, which is by Essence. And if you're wondering why you can't find this one in store, then it's because it's only available online, as this is also where I bought it from for around €6, which is definitely affordable. And all of those eyeshadow palettes by Essence which look like in the style of this, just with different cities, those are so affordable for the color payoff and for like the quality that you get. And especially with the LA one, this is a very like colorful eyeshadow palette, and it also would be an amazing Christmas gift for maybe yourself or a friend of yours, where you know that this person loves makeup and you don't know really what to get. Then those palettes are definitely a beautiful gift. Now I'm going to start off with the first eye makeup look, which I'm going to keep only in the matte tones. I'm going to start off with a crease shade which is definitely a bit darker, and it looks in the pan like it's a dark brown shadow, which is this one right here. But if you're going to blend it, it turns out a little bit more of a reddish tone, like red brown tone, rather than having a cool brown tone. And I'm also going to use a crease brush for it and start blending it through the crease as well as the outer V. Now this shadow just blends like a dream through the crease without a problem, and I also do not really experience any fallout. If you do so, you always can use a clean brush and just dust it away, or do the eyes first and then the rest of your makeup. Now for the next step, I'm also going to dig into a light brown shadow, which I'm going to use to soften the edges of the dark brown shadow, as well as blending it a little bit further upwards. And I'm talking about this shade right here on the top, which is definitely a matte shadow, and I'm also going to use a very fluffy blending brush which definitely has not a lot of bristles, but it's soft enough to soften the edges. Now what I do love about those two shadows, the darker ones and the mid-brown shadow, is that if you're going to use a lighter shadow on top and you're blending it to soften the edges of the darker shadow, it won't lose the darkness which you put through the crease. Like, it's going to soften the edges, and it also gives you a beautiful like gradient from the darker shadow towards the lighter shadow, but you won't lose the color, like neither of them. Like, whether you're going to apply the lighter one first or the darker one or the other way around, it always will look beautifully blended. And now for the main lid area, I'm also going to move on to the next step, which is applying the matte purple towards the outer corner. And for that I'm also going to use the crease brush, which is a little bit more of a pointed, denser brush, so that I really can keep the focus towards the outer corner. Now with this purple shadow right here, you have to build it up to get a little bit more of an intense purple, because if you're just going to use it lightweight, then it definitely won't show up as like, let's say, so pigmented as it is in the pan. You really have to build it up, which is good, so that you have a bit more control of how much you want to add one of those colors to your main lid area, so that you can keep the control and also build it up as you basically want for the makeup look you want to go. And so I'm going to build it up slowly, and I've also used already a little bit more of the darker shadow towards the outer corner, which will also help me to create a little bit more of a darker area towards the outer corners. And so depending on how much you build up the color, you definitely will get a finish like this, and this is also perfect for the look that I want to go for. And now for the next step, I'm going to add the matte pink shadow towards the main lid area. And I'm going to use my finger, and later on I'm going to use the crease brush which I just used for the outer corner area to blend the shadows together. And so now this is what the main lid area for the moment looks like, and all what I'm going to add now for the last step is basically a bit of color on the lower lash line. And for that I'm going to mix the dark brown shadow with the mid brown shadow together and put it on the lower lash line with a crease brush. And here you have the first eye makeup look using only matte shadows, and I've basically used now all of them except the lightest one right here. But this is also such a beautiful combination that you can add the brown tones with the purple and pinks together and it still will turn out like a beautiful eye makeup look. And now let's move on to the next eye makeup look. Now for the second eye makeup look, we are definitely going to keep it a bit simpler. We are using less shadows, but we are going to keep the focus with the matte shadows. And this time I'm also going to create a little bit more of a wearable eye makeup look. Starting off with the first step, which is a shadow that I'm going to blend through the crease as well as the outer corner, using the mid brown shadow right here on the top, as well as using the blending brush that I've used earlier. Now using a shadow like this is such a beautiful transition shade. This can also be your guideline on where you're going to apply the next color, as it also will help you to emphasize your crease a bit more, as well as giving you a bit more color if you open the eyes and you still want to see something from your eye makeup look if you're not closing your eyes. So now for the next step, I'm also going to add a darker shadow through the outer corner, and I'm going to stick with the dark brown, which I'm mainly going to add towards the outer corner and then blending it a slightly bit towards the midsection. And now for the next step, I'm also going to focus the lighter shade on the main lid area, and I'm also going to dig into a matte shadow, which is this one right here on the top, which I haven't used. I'm going to apply it with my finger, and then later on, if needed, I'm also going to use a blending brush again to help me soften everything together. And so once you have applied the lightest shade on the main lid area as well and blended it in with the darker shade, then this is already our look. As I just want to keep it a little bit with less color, but still like everyday like, so that you also can wear it like this, and you can also create this look even though this is such a beautiful and colorful palette. Now let's move on to the next eye makeup look. Now for the third eye makeup look, we're also going to dig into some shimmer shadows. But first we're going to start off with the crease as well as outer corner shadow, where I'm going to mix the dark brown as well as the medium brown together, and I'm going to use a crease brush to blend it through the crease as well as the outer corner. And now for the first shimmer, we are going to dig into some light pink. And this one right here. It's more of a pinkish orangey tone, but this is such a gorgeous shade to also apply it on the main lid area so that you have a lighter shade going on, and it also will open up your eye at the same time. And so once this is beautifully applied and you're happy on how it looks like, we now can move on to the next step, which is applying a darker shadow towards the outer corner, but we're going to stick with a shimmery one. And for that I'm also going to use this bright pink one. I'm going to start off with the brush, but to intensify the color, I'm also going to use my finger and use the mixture between my finger blending and the brush. And so this is also a third combination on how you can use the shadows together, as well as using two shimmery shades on the main lid area, as well as still add some darkness towards the outer corner. Now let's move on to the last eye makeup look. Now for the last eye makeup look, I'm going to switch the colors. As we used for the third eye makeup look, the brown and the light brown, this time I'm going to add some purple and pink through the crease. And for the first step, I'm going to start off with the darkest shade, which is the matte purple. And I'm also going to use this one on a crease brush so that I can have a little bit more precision before moving on. And so now to blend out the purple even more so that we have that gradient going on, I'm now going to dig into the light matte pink shadow. And for that I'm also going to use a blending brush so that we can soften the edges. And now once this is blended beautifully, we can dig into some shimmer shadows, and there are only two missing which I haven't used yet. And I'm going to start off with the lightest one, which is a beautiful light golden shadow, which I'm going to use on the main lid area as well as applying it with my finger. And now for the outer corner area, I'm going to use this orange shadow right here, and as I did earlier, I'm going to use my finger as well as a brush to help me blend this beautifully through the outer corner as well as midsection. And so once you have this color combination going on, then this is already the finished look and the final look that I wanted to share with you guys. As with this one, I've just used the opposite color than with the third eye makeup look, and it doesn't matter which colors you're going to use where, they always will perform so beautifully, as the color theme is like amazing, as you can use or go with any color you like to, and you can blend it with any color you like. And this also makes this palette so unusual, as well as also so creative to have fun with your eyeshadow application. Now, the only thing that's missing to finish off a look is, of course, mascara if you like to. But other than that, those are also my 4 eye makeup looks which I wanted to share with you guys. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as share it, as this is an independent channel, which means that I'm buying the products with my money. And yeah, I mean, thank you so much for watching and supporting this channel, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!